time, but maybe particularly when we are teenagers. I mean, I don't know about you, but I know that when people look at me, even now, but particularly when I was a teenager, I didn't feel like they were seeing what is essentially true about me. I felt like they were dehumanizing me, you know, thinking of me as sort of less than a real person, less than a total person, less than a whole, complicated person. Whitman says in Song of Myself, I contain multitudes. And like, isn't that so true? Like, when I think about myself, I never wake up in the morning and think, you know who's a really good person? Me. Or, you know who's evil? Me. Because like, I know full well that I'm capable of both good things, albeit not that many of them, and evil things. But every time I do something evil, I don't think, like, you know, if someone in a gigantic SUV cuts me off, I think, oh, that guy's evil. I own an SUV. But I have a total justification for owning an SUV, you know? Which is that we've owned it forever and can't sell it, so what are we going to do? Another example is cutting my grass, which I think is like the single most evil occupation that regular Americans do on a regular basis. It's so strange to me that we have this like large swath of by definition arable land that we pour chemicals onto that poison the groundwater, and then use internal combustion engines to cut this grass that does not provide us with sustenance or anything else meaningful. In fact, I usually only walk on my grass while mowing it. Why do we do that? I have a moral justification for it, which is that when I first moved into the neighborhood, my next door neighbor came over to me, and he put his arm around me, and we just met the day before, and he said, you know, when the Kaufmans lived here, this was the nicest lawn in the neighborhood. And I was like, well, when the Kaufmans lived here, wasn't nobody in the basement writing books? Yeah, I don't know. So I have a justification for my evil in a way that I don't try to justify when someone cuts in front of me when I'm trying just to steer my minivan down the highway. That to me gets at this fundamental inability that we have to imagine other people as complexly as we imagine ourselves, and also how difficult it is for them to imagine us. Like, this is always going to be the case because like 155,000 people are going to die today. And I hope that we don't know any of them, but it's true, 155,000 people. If we felt the loss, Q says this very early on in the book, but I think it's really true. If we felt the loss of all those 155,000 people as much as we would feel the loss of one of our friends or a grandparent, I mean, we would just be nothing but like gigantic holes of sucking pain, and we would be completely unable to like get out of bed in the morning and watch YouTube videos and read books and all the things that we like to do that make life interesting to live. So it's necessary that we can't totally imagine what it's like to be someone else. Our challenge as human beings, I would argue, is to learn to imagine other people as best we can, and to learn that their pain is as real as our pain, that their joy is as real as our joy, and this connection that I experienced, honestly, I mean, it's part of the reason I was thinking so much about this is because I began to experience this connection so intensely in such an abstract way, but because it was online, but also, I mean, I really felt it in a lasting way. I began to experience this with Brotherhood 2.0, so when I was revising Paper Towns the first time, like, these things were much on my mind because I was feeling newly connected to other people in a way that I hadn't honestly felt since high school, because I hadn't been confronted with new other people since high school. So I think that this would be my argument, and that's what I was thinking about when I was writing Paper Towns, was the way that we dehumanize other people and how important it is to stop that, and to imagine people complexly, to acknowledge that all of us contain multitudes. That's my spiel, and now I think we're going to do Question Tuesday.
Yes.
Are we going to do something else?
I don't know, I kind of want to clap.